Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over the SBS Autotrader and everything you need to know before purchasing. Okay, before we jump into it, we are increasing the price November 30th to $29.50, so a $200 increase from what it is now for lifetime. Okay, now let's jump into it. Okay, so a lot of people do not know the SBS model. Okay, why does SBS take a trade? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how the model works. Okay, I'm going to show you how the bot would potentially enter a trade. Okay, so step one, there's about 4 steps. Okay, now let me find my path tool here. Okay, so step one, we're moving. Okay, we break out. This is step one. We break out from a swing point. This red line is our swing point. Okay, then our step two, we need to pull back into this zone where we previously broke out. Okay, step three, we move up and take out this original high right here. In step four, we move back into the 0.618, which will either be a little bit above the 2 or a little bit below the 2. Okay, I think generally, below number 2 right here would be a little bit higher quality, but there's a lot of trades that the bot takes that wins taking it like right up here. Okay, so it would take this, you'd enter right there, and this would line up with the 0.618 on the fib, and it would take a long entry, and then you would hopefully win that trade like that. Okay, so that would be the long version. The short version, same thing. Okay, we are downtrending, boom, 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 we break out, step one, we pull back, step two, move back below the initial breakout, step three, pull back above the second step, number 4, and then boom. Okay, and then if we line up our fib, a fib would generally boom right off the 0.618, and you would enter a short position here. Okay, and then there you go. So that's what the model is based off of. Okay, it's based off of market structure. Okay, so you can take screenshots of this, rewind it multiple times, slow it down if you need, but that is the model of SBS. Okay, now what does the bot do? The bot reads pivot points, so you can adjust the sensitivities of these pivots. So if you put a higher sensitivity, it will read less pivots, read bigger pivots. If you put it to a lower sensitivity, it'll read smaller pivots. So right now we have the default settings on. Okay, the default sensitivity is 3 and 1. Okay, if you change the sensitivity, so let's say 2 and 1, this might be read as a pivot. Okay, but right now only this is being read as a swing point / pivot. Okay, and then the bot reads these, so it would potentially have taken, we'll just say a short, let's see, this would be maybe let me see if I can find kind of might have read this like a step one here, breakdown from here, 1, 2, 3. It might have taken a short like right here at 6, in this area, if a fib lined up. Okay, and then it would take a short. That's just an example. Our trades reset from the day, but this is what the SBS chart looks like. Okay, we have all the things come out of the box for the most part. We have a full tutorial course. Okay, what does the SBS Autotrader include? Okay, you have to custom make your ATM. We have videos on that. Okay, there's a reason behind it. Mainly just for a trail stop. Okay, you have different filters. Okay, so you can use different times for different times of the day, for different days of the week. Okay, we have different profit settings, so you can scale out at certain areas. Okay, you can scale out at a custom risk reward, a 0.236 fib, and a custom risk reward. These are all the 236 and 0 are fib levels. Okay, customize that. You can put a break-even stop when we hit the 0.236, and then this is where it gets fun. You get to customize your max risk per trade. Okay, now for everyone listening, you should use probably NQ if you're doing $500 or more of risk. Okay, $500 or more of risk. If you're doing less than $500 of risk, I would use micros generally speaking, because micros are going to be a little more accurate. Now, the reason micros are more accurate is because micros are a tenth of the size of the minis. The minis, if you want, $500 of risk, but it requires a stop loss that is $700 of risk or $800 of risk, it'll still put you in that with one contract because it can't go any less than one contract. So on a chart like the 16 range chart that we're on, generally that's not going to be as big of a problem because the stops are relatively close. Okay, so using NQ for a range chart or a Ninja Renko chart, those might be okay, but on a candlestick chart, you'd want to use micros. Okay, we have a max profit and loss setting. You can obviously put this in. This would be a positive number. The max loss has to be a negative number, otherwise it won't take a trade. And then one more thing about the max profit. So a lot of people want to lower the maximum contracts allowed, but the maximum contracts, it doesn't mean, because we have 20 here, it doesn't mean you're putting it into 20 contracts per trade. This means you're allowing the bot to potentially put you in 20 contracts to meet your risk parameters. Okay, so this is like the maximum it would ever do to meet your risk parameters. Okay, all the bot is trying to do is get as close as it can to your risk per trade, max risk per trade in dollars. Okay, so if you're using micros, I would bump this to about 50. Okay, if you're using NQs, generally speaking, you just want to put this to whatever your max allowed on your prop firm is. If you're on Apex, Apex allows automated trading now. You're on we'll say a 50K account, just put 100 micros, right? And trade the MNQs, okay? Because that's what's allowed. And then put your max risk here to like 200, okay? And then you'll have no problems, okay? Generally, people encounter problems if they put this at like 5, like on Top Step. A 50K account on Top Step limits your contracts to 5, okay? If you put 5 contracts and you're trying to trade micros, it won't put you in a trade if it's trying to take more than 5, because again, it might be trying to put you in 6, 7, 8 to meet your risk, but you only allowed it 5, so it won't take a trade. Okay, so you need to choose your prop firm wisely with this feature. Okay, sensitivity is 3 and 1. Again, higher numbers will read bigger swing points, lower numbers will read lower swing points, and that's gives you different trade results. Okay, most people just leave these at 3 and 1 default. Okay, all this stuff can basically just be default. The only things you'd need to change is the risk per trade and the max contracts. Everything else can leave as default. There you go. Now you have your chart. There you go, right? Lots of people do run multiple charts. I think people, when we originally built the bot, it was around candlestick charts for the 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute charts. But a lot of people have been using only the range charts or the Ninja Renko charts and been killing it. Okay, I mean killing it. I'm just going to walk you through some of the testimonials from today. So Jack, first day on SBS on ETF, made about 500 bucks. This was my charts today, about 1200 on a range chart. 490 was the Ninja Renko chart, and top was 15 second. We had Beavis, 16 range, 750 risk. These are PA accounts. He made $17,400 today on funded accounts. We have Argenito. These are also all the ones that say 1500 are funded accounts. So he's up, I think, about $4,500 to $5,000 since on each account. So like $30,000 total since the release of the Autotrader. We had JTrader, 700 bucks. My mom even made 900 bucks today. So Media Boy, $1,100 on cash accounts, and prop firms are a little goofy, but still ended profit. Wizard, $10,000. You get the point, guys. This is just from today. Obviously, not every day is going to be green, but we can hope for the best. This is a long-term algo. It's meant to get your results over month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year, right? If you give it some time to work for you, it'll do work, and it'll work long term. Okay, work. If you're looking for quick scalp, high energy, 100,000 trades a day, this algo is not for you. This is for slow, steady gains. Obviously these gains are pretty big, but generally we coded it around slower, steady gains over month to month, year to year. Okay. So again, I'll leave some links down below if you guys are interested. The lifetime price is going to increase at the end of this month. And of course, comment any questions, concerns down below, and thanks for watching.